Greetings and salutations to all of our iPrevent viewers and family. This is Kelsey here from Peer Prevention with 5 things you may not have learned about LGBTQIA sex education. Barriers. Condoms only begin to scratch the surface when we're talking about sexual health and wellness, but there are all sorts of barriers that can be used during intercourse to increase pleasure and keep your body safe. Barriers can do more than protect us from STIs and pregnancy. When used properly, they can help reduce the risk of bacterial vaginosis, yeast infections, and can protect our genitals from injury incurred from hangnails, calluses, and various bacteria. Gloves are an excellent tool for anyone participating in digital sex, such as fingering or fisting. It works by covering the hand and protecting both participants from STIs spread through bodily fluids and covers cuts, eczema, and other skin conditions. Gloves are very simple to use. Simply put one over your hand before engaging in any digital sex. You can also add lube to the outside of the glove, but be sure not to use oil-based lubricants if using a latex glove. Water-based lubricants should work just fine. Dental dams are a great way to protect yourself and your partner during oral sex. A dental dam is a thin, flexible piece of latex that can be placed over your partner's genitals or anus. They reduce the risk of STIs while allowing for clitoral or anal stimulation. Unfortunately, while dental dams aren't as readily available as condoms are, you can make your own in a pinch by cutting open a condom or a latex glove. Be sure to dispose of your dental dam when finished and never reuse them. Consent. When you look up the word consent in the dictionary, the definition means to give assent or approval. But what does this mean in the context of sexual wellness? Sexual consent is an agreement to participate in a sexual activity. To put it simply, before you have sex with someone, it's important that you make sure they want to have sex with you too. But how do we know if someone wants to have sex with us? We ask them. Conversations about consent don't have to be awkward. If you're needing a little help, here are a few conversation starters. Ask, can I blank? Or do you want me to blank? Filling in the sex act that you would like to try. It's also important to check in with your partner during sex. Phrases like, should I keep going? Do you like when I do blank? Gives your partner the space to let you know how they're feeling. Remember, the best sex happens when all parties are on the same page. It's important to make sure that your partner is aware of your STI status and any other sexual partners you may have. In order for it to count as consent, your partner must be well informed of all the facts. Remember that consent can be reversed at any time, and just because a partner consents to sex once, doesn't mean that they're always consenting to sex with you. When we ask for consent, it's important that we not only listen to our partner's answers, but pay attention to their body language and tone as well. Are they leaning in and kissing you back, or are they just staying still? Do they sound excited and enthusiastic, or is their tone flat and disengaged? Remember, consent is never something that can be implied or assumed. It's not something you coerce someone into doing, and it can't be given if you or your partner are under the influence of drugs and alcohol. If you're having trouble remembering how to navigate consent, you can use this handy acronym that Planned Parenthood provided. Consent is as easy as fries. That's freely given, reversible, informed, enthusiastic, and specific. And I mean, who doesn't love fries? Dating violence. When polled, a lot of people under the queer umbrella have stated they were never taught about or warned against the dangers of dating violence. In fact, there are many who simply believe that same-sex domestic violence isn't a prevalent issue. However, 44% of lesbians, 61% of bisexual women, 26% of gay men, and 37% of bisexual men have experienced rape, physical violence, or stalking by an intimate partner. And that's not even considering all of the gender nonconforming individuals who may also be victims of these experiences. Those are some pretty big numbers to ignore. So what is considered dating violence, and how do you know if you're experiencing it? Dating violence includes 4 types of behavior: Physical violence, such as hitting or punching, sexual violence, stalking, and psychological aggression, which includes verbal and emotional abuse. So, how do you know if you're experiencing violence or abuse from a partner? Does your partner often embarrass you or put you down? Do they discourage you from engaging with your family and friends? Have they pressured you to have sex when you didn't want to? Do they threaten to hurt themselves or you? Have they ever hit or slapped you? All of these are indicators of abuse. Domestic violence and abuse doesn't look the same in every relationship. But one thing that many abusive relationships do have in common is that the abuser will do things in order to have power and control over their partners. And this can absolutely happen between queer and same-sex partners. If you or a loved one is experiencing dating violence or abuse, you can call, text, or chat online with a representative at the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Aftercare. So what if you've already had sex with your partner? You've got consent, you used protection, and you had a great time. What comes next? Let's talk aftercare. Aftercare is a broad term for how you and your partner support and check in with one another after having sex. Sex can leave us with a lot of intense feelings and emotions. You may feel exposed or vulnerable after. Some may even crash after the high of having sex. Aftercare can help put yourself and your partner at ease. It's a good practice to ask your partners what types of aftercare work best for them, but here are some suggestions to get you started. Firstly, you'll want to tend to physical aftercare. Peeing after sex is a great practice to prevent a UTI. It's also a good idea to drink some water and maybe eat something. In terms of mental or emotional aftercare, some partners enjoy checking in with one another afterward. You or your partner could benefit from talking about your experience or just chatting in general. You may want to cuddle up or hang out and watch a comfort show. You also may want to have some time alone with your thoughts and to decompress. All of these are valid forms of aftercare. I recommend putting together a plan before you have sex with your partner and then double checking to make sure that plan still suits both your needs afterward. Remember, aftercare looks different for everyone. And lastly, I'd like to leave you with this reminder. Sex is supposed to be pleasurable. A lot of sex education can come across like a cautionary tale. And while it's true, there are some risks involved, we think it's important to remind our viewers that sex is supposed to feel good and there's no one-size-fits-all model to follow. Sex does not have to result in an orgasm or involve penetration, and despite popular myths, it's also not supposed to be painful or uncomfortable. Well, that's it for now, iPrevent fam. Thank you so much for joining us, and please like, follow, and subscribe for more iPrevent content.